So this is a typical TDS chart which is available in the Reckoner, but I am using it because it is easy to understand and explain the whole concept of TDS. And here one more thing I want to tell you is that you need to, we have already discussed, I told you to remember the sections, but I don't know whether you have remembered. These are the sections in which we need to discuss. First one is salary. We'll look at the first sheet first. Then interest on securities, dividend, then interest other than interest on securities. So what is the difference between securities? Mean mainly debentures and all, which is secured. This is like bank deposit and all, 194A. Bank deposit and all comes under that. Winnings from lotteries, crossword puzzles, etc. Winning from horse races, payment to contractors, subcontractors by persons other than individual. Then you got insurance commission 194D. 194D a payment in respect of life insurance policy other than amount exempted in 1010D. 194E payments out of deposits under national savings. Payments made out 194F payments are on account of repurchase and etc. Commission etc. on sale of lottery. Commission and brokerage. This is only commission on lottery. This one is commission and brokerage payable by person other than the individual. Rent payable by, this is rent. This is rent payable by person other than individual. 194J is what professional fees and all we get. Our TDS gets deducted in this. LA is relating to compensation on enhanced compensation. If you remember when we were doing capital gain, we'd had compensation, right? Compulsory acquisition of property. That all comes into this. Next one is payment of consideration on transfer of land and building other than agriculture. This is again something when you sell a property and the buyer has to, before making the payment, deduct if it is more than 50 lakhs. Rent payable, IB, rent payable by individual or HUF other than, this is for what are the things that are coming? It is relating to furniture and all that. So it is IA is here, this is IB. So there is separate rate that they have given, that's why they are putting it here. Here I is there, this is IB. This is individual. So it is separately IB, there is separate situation other than those referred in second proviso. Okay. So I am just trying to tell you, please remember the provision. Otherwise, you cannot control this. Like sections, as I told you initially, I gave you a list and tried to ask you to memorize. If you don't memorize it, it will be difficult. So main ones, what is it? Salary, interest on securities, 193, dividend, and interest on other than interest on securities. Now, mind you, as far as salary is concerned, what happens is that what is the total amount of income which is exempt? It is basic, it is how much? 2,50,000, right? Divided by 12, how much is coming to? Can you tell me? 2,50,000 divided by 12. Can you tell me, please? How much?
20,008.
Yeah. Now look at it, 20,833.
20,080.
Yeah. So, and if you look at senior citizen, 3 lakhs divided by 12, how much is it?
25,000.
So that is 25,000. And if it is 5 lakhs divided by 12, how much?
41,666.
Yeah, that is the amount. So this is what they have given, nothing else. So it depends on to whom you are paying the salary. Normally it will be this only, because senior citizen, once it happens, normally they will not be having salary. but they are given. So what you need to do is you have to judge it every month, because salary is being paid every month. So monthly at the time of payment, where estimated taxable salary is per month exceeds these amounts, then TDS has to be done. How? The rates, normal rates which you have got, we have got normal rates. What are the rates for that? 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, it is actually 5%. Then unless you are, the rebate and all is there, if you cross it, then taxability will come. Otherwise, up to 5 lakhs there is a rebate. 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is 20%, and above that is 30%. This is a slab. So slab rate is what they are mentioning here. Now what is this heading now? When to deposit the amount. So for example, if this person is being paid not 25, he is being paid 30,000. So 30,000 you'd assume for the full year, how much will it come to? And in that, say 3,000 rupees is the tax. I'm just taking an example. So 27,000 he will be paid, 3,000 the employer will collect. And this 3,000 is what? Based on this rate. This 3,000 that he has collected, say for the month of, in the month of now what, October, right? In the month of October he is deducted. When should he deposit into the government account? On or before 7 days from the end of the month in which the deduction is made. When did the deduction take place? October. Therefore, it should be deposited by the 7th of November. That is what the rule says. Prescribed form and due date for furnishing the statement of tax deducted. That we'll come to that a little later, because it's all common. And what form? TDS certificate, that also will come, except for 92. Rest are mostly 16A. Except for this thing, this is 16. This is all 16A. Once you understand that, for only this case there is a little bit of complication. Other cases there is specific amounts beyond which TDS has to be deducted, and the rest is almost same. So let us look at the next one. Interest on securities at the time of credit or payment, whichever is earlier, for no deduction of tax in certain cases where interest on debenture does not exceed to 5,000. So which means that if you don't cross 5,000, there is no need for TDS. Therefore, you'll have to remember this also. So you remember this, you remember this. And what is the rate? 10%. These are same always. When to deposit? 7 days. That is common. This is also common. So basically, you need to remember this column, this column, this column, because these are almost same. This is almost same. So once you read, you understand, that's it. So therefore, in each of the cases, we have to read the section, what is the limit, what is the rate. That is what we are going to look at. And not all cases, some of the cases, because all is not very important for you. Now let us look at dividend. Before making payment for resident payment, no deduction of tax in certain cases. We have seen dividend up to 1 lakh, there is no this thing, 1 lakh or 10 lakhs, right? Up to 10 lakhs, there is no tax. Beyond that, it is 10%. 194A, what is the limit? At the time of credit or payment, whichever is earlier, when the aggregate sum payable is more than 5,000. Tax rate is 10%. Winnings from lotteries, 194B. How much is the amount? 10,000. Tax rate 30%. Winning from horses, 10,000, 30%. 194C, 30,000. And there is an aggregate amount of 75, 1 lakh. Now that means single payment 35,000, where the amount payment plus there is a total amount of, that means you cannot break it up and say I'll pay 25,000 25,000, 25,000, and like that I'll break it up. No, then once it crosses 1 lakh, it will get applicable. There is also a rule there that I'll tell you how, where. What is the rate? In case of payment to contractor, subcontractor, if he is an individual, only 1%. If it's a other than individual, 2%. So for companies and all, it will be 2% if you're deducting. Please mind you, these sections are very, very important. If you don't understand, you will not be able to do audit, any form of audit. Now, if you look at it, there is a small star here, star sort of thing, and it is given somewhere here. See, for payment amendments to provision deduct, next page it is there. Something is mentioned there. No, sorry, this one. The aggregate amount of such sums credited or paid or likely to be paid in the financial year exceeds 1 lakh, tax deduction. So that is not single payment. Even if it crosses 1 lakh during the year, it is required. Tomorrow, when you do articleship, this is going to be a major, major issue which you have to be very clear. So better start doing it. Later on, once you get hold of this, try to read these notes also. (194D), don't worry about it, nothing much. 194D is important, but at the moment, don't worry. I'm trying to reduce your scope as much as possible. It is there. These are all not important. 194, H is important. Commission and brokerage payable to persons other than individual. What is the limit? 15,000. Rate 5%. 194I, it is into rent. How much is it? 2,40,000 limit. At the rate specified in footnote. Down there is a footnote, we'll come to that. 194J, professionals. What is it? 30,000. If it payment is more than 30,000, immediately it will get attracted. And how much is the rate? 10%. At the rate of 2% as IT in case of a payee engaged in the business of operation. So that's not relevant. 10% is what is important. But you have to be careful about this. They can ask questions. Never know. Something silly they will ask sometimes. LA is again 2,50,000, 10%. Consideration for transfer of land and building, 50,000, 50 lakhs, 1%. Then 194I is 50,000. This is a new section. They can ask questions on this. Be careful. This is a new section, relatively new section. Because here what was happening was the rent, there were certain things where rent was only applicable for those cases, this rent. In certain cases, the star, if you look at it, most of the cases, star is there. Okay. The star. What is that star? We'll come to that. Where is the star? In the previous page, star is there. See, refer star Moking page 330. I don't know whether page 330 is there. Let me see. Yes. Can you read, Maria, can you read this star? In case of an individual or HUF? In case, okay, I'll read it. In case of an individual or an HUF or association of persons, whether incorporated or not, and those falling under the clauses A to B and explanation 194C is liable to tax audit under 44AB during the financial year immediate preceding, which means that the star cases, it will be applicable only if they are coming under tax audit. That means if you are an individual and you are doing business, you don't have to do anything if you're not falling under the tax audit regime. All these star which is coming. Therefore, if a say lot of flats in Mumbai or in Bangalore and all that, if you look at, somebody would have purchased a flat and they are letting it on rent for 75,000 per month, because there are some flats which are like that, 75, 1 lakh and all. This was never getting taxed. This was never getting taxed, or TDS was not there, because the TDS provision which was available, this existing provision, it was only for those who were complying with, who were coming under the tax audit scheme. So lot of this income was never getting taxed. Tax means TDS was not getting deducted. Whether it was not taxed, that's a separate issue, because it doesn't come under that then. That is why they have now brought this under the purview of TDS. At what percent? 5%. So when it should be done? Here there are little different. On or before 30 days from the end of the month in which deduction is made. So here instead of 7, they have given further 30 days for, and the way the challan, through the challan itself, they think there is no other separate return is required. So let me give you an example, the difference between 194 IA and IB. I is this, right? IB is this. What is it? Let us take as an example so that you are clear. I'll take 3 examples. X individual paying rent, pays rent to P, an individual, for 2,80,000. So the limit is crossed, right? Earlier, this was escaping TDS provision. X was not required to deduct TDS. He was paying. He was a business person. He was doing business. It was getting escaped there because there was no need for TDS. Right? Now, what they are saying is that that was the thing. Now, X individual business tax audit is coming under tax audit. At that time, 2,80,000 pays rent. It was TDS was required. TDS not required. This is what the status. But look at another example. X, no business, salaried person, paying rent more than 2 lakh, say 2,80,000 to P. There's no TDS, no TDS, because it's not at all there. Business related, not at all there. But now what they have done is, by this 194I is getting attracted here. But now by introducing 194B, even I think this will IB, this will get attracted. Even this will get, this is primarily the thing. This will also get attracted, because whatever is the amount individual not falling under this, anything more than 50,000, 50,000 per month, this will not get attracted. Sorry, this is saying 50,000 per month, then only it will get attracted. This is 2,80,000, so it will not get attracted. So 194B will get attracted, but because of the limit being lower, because it's only 2,80,000, if it is paid more than 6 lakhs, then it will get attracted. Here it is only 2,80,000 total year. So in that case, this will still escape. So for an individual business, if it is being paid more than 6 lakhs in a year, then it'll get, because 50,000 into 12. it will get attracted. So be careful about this, because the new section, you have to be very clear about it. And the payment is not, there is no return challan and all that. It is a sorry, return, it's a separate challan. Okay. Now let us look at what are the returns to be filed. Now this fifth column, very simple, quarterly statement of deduction of tax. Quarterly you have to file the return. Quarterly statement of deduction of tax under 203 in form 24Q in respect of 192. So for this only 24Q. Form number 26Q in respect of TDS in all other deductions other than 192. It is to be delivered by the person deducting the tax, whoever is deducting, such set quarterly returns. The said by the person deducting that said quarterly return to be delivered to the Director General of Income Tax or the person authorized by DG. Due date is furnishing is 4 dates. For the quarter ending. So again, I'll just explain how, what are the returns to be filed. For salary, it is 24Q. Others, it is 26Q. What dates? Quarter 1, that is June. What is the date? It is 31st July. There are some other dates, I'm not telling that for government deductors. Next one is second quarter, September, 31st October, quarter 3, December, 31st Jan, quarter 4, March. It is not 30th April, 31st May. One more, because for year closing and all, there is an additional time. There's an additional time. Okay. And in one or two sections, this 24Q is not where it's based on a challan based, especially that rent. Rent related, which we saw 194 IB and 194 I1 IA is there. So these things are primarily based on challans because they are one-time payments. See, again I'm saying, see, 31/7, 31/10, 31/1, 31/5. What dates? For 36 it is 31/7, 39 it is 31/10, for 31/12 it is 31/1, 31/3 it is 31/5. Okay. And once you do that, you have to give them the TDS certificate, that is in form number 16A, and the respective dates are again 1 month from this date. One month from the date of due date of filing the return. Okay. So that summarizes the whole chapter, but I'm telling you, this is a very good chart to understand. If you understand it and take a little bit of effort, the whole chapter will become easy. Of course, there are certain rules on more details are there. I'm not getting into that. As you do the problem, read your material, it will be good because it itself is a huge chapter. I can take it for probably, 1 week, only this. That much is there. For your necessary, I think it is okay. When you start doing the problem, you will be able to understand it. And these notes, if you get time, you read it, but it's not really important because there are some other things that they have mentioned. But these ones you be careful, because these notes, especially that I told you, this one. Okay.